Imagine you're halfway up a frozen cliffside. Your hands are numb. The wind is screaming past your ears, and suddenly, you see something that shouldn't exist. This is the chilling reality that Brody and Mike, two seasoned hikers, found themselves in during what was supposed to be a routine climb in the mountains of Ohio. Just another day of testing their endurance, seeking the thrill of the climb. Or so they thought. As they ascended the icy cliff, Brody's experienced eye caught sight of something peculiar etched into the rock face. Straight lines, too precise, too intentional to be the work of Mother Nature. Their interest piqued. They decided to investigate further, braving the biting cold. What they found was a sight that made their hearts skip a beat. A massive boulder wedged into the cliff, acting as an unnatural door. The realization dawned on them. This wasn't a formation sculpted by time, but by human hands. Using their climbing gear and a makeshift pulley system, they managed to shift the boulder. As it tumbled down the mountain, it revealed a dark, inviting tunnel exhaling warm, sulfur-scented air from deep within the earth. A stark contrast to the icy exterior they had just breached. This is where they should have turned back, where they should have left the mystery of the mountain unsolved. But the allure of the unknown was too strong, the adrenaline too intoxicating. So they ventured further, stepping into the belly of the mountain. The air was damp, the temperature dropped instantly, and the smell of sulfur was even stronger. It was clear to Mike, explosives had been used here. This wasn't a relic of ancient history, but a sign of recent human activity. As they delved deeper into the tunnel, the beam from their headlamps revealed a disturbing sight, a pile of tools, shovels, pickaxes, rusted metal contrasted with almost new wooden handles. This place was not abandoned, but actively in use. They should have turned back. Instead, adrenaline won. With headlamps on and hearts racing, they stepped into the mountain. The air around them was dense and cool, a stark contrast to the biting Ohio winter outside. The tunnel, carved with precision, stretched ahead. The smell of sulfur was even stronger now, a potent reminder of the explosives that had shaped this place. As they ventured further into the darkness, the beams from their headlamps danced across the rocky walls, illuminating a chilling sight, a collection of tools, shovels, pickaxes, and other implements scarred by time and use lay scattered around. The rusted metal contrasted with the smooth, newer wooden handles. This place was not a forgotten relic of the past. It was still very much in use. Suddenly, an eerie sound echoed through the tunnel. A high-pitched whistle, followed by the slow, rhythmic thud of footsteps. Their hearts pounded in their chests as they quickly extinguished their lights and pressed themselves against the cold stone walls. An elderly man appeared from the shadows, an oil lantern casting an ominous glow around him. He moved with purpose, picking up a shovel before disappearing once more into the depths of the cave. Brody and Mike shared a glance before deciding to follow him, their curiosity overpowering their fear. They trailed the man, their senses heightened in the darkness. The tunnel eventually opened up into a vast chamber, illuminated by the warm glow of a coal oven. The sight was surreal, a homely setup in such an unlikely location. The oven roared to life, its sudden blast of warmth startling the hikers, forcing a gasp from their lips. The old man spun around, gripping a pickaxe. His eyes were wild. "You're here for my sparkle," he growled. The chamber fell into an eerie silence, the tension palpable as the hikers faced off with the mountain's solitary inhabitant. After tense moments of explanation, the man finally lowered his weapon. His name was Bob. Bob, as it turned out, had stumbled upon a vein of gold deep within the mountain back in the 80s. A lucky find, one might think. But this fortune turned into an obsession that swallowed him whole. In the dim, flickering light of the cave, Bob led the hikers to his hoard. It was a sight that could make even the most stoic gasp in awe. Gold nuggets piled high, shimmered like a constellation of stars trapped beneath the earth, a sight to behold, a silent testament to years of relentless toil. It was a fortune that could easily run into millions. But amidst this dazzling wealth, Bob was a picture of sheer exhaustion. His eyes had lost their sparkle, mirroring instead the dull sheen of a man trapped in his own obsession. It was a chilling sight, a stark reminder of the price one pays for such an obsession. Rich beyond imagination, yet unable to leave. The truth was painfully clear. Bob wasn't guarding a treasure. He was imprisoned by it. This was not a tale of a man living his dream, but a cautionary tale of a dream that consumed a man. Brody and Mike realized something heartbreaking. A man who had all the wealth one could dream of, but was shackled by it. Isolated from the world, Bob was not a hermit by choice, but a prisoner of his own obsession. His life, like the gold he hoarded, was trapped within these cold stone walls. For the first time in decades, Bob wasn't alone. Brody and Mike, touched by his plight, decided to help. They saw in Bob not a crazed old man, but an individual who had lost his way. A man who needed to be reminded of the beauty of a sunrise, the warmth of a friendly handshake, and the laughter that fills bustling cafes. Over the next few weeks, they chipped away at the walls Bob had built around himself, not with pickaxes and shovels, but with patience and understanding. They shared stories of their adventures, of the people they'd met, of the world that had continued to spin while Bob was buried in his mountain. Slowly, Bob began to listen. His eyes, once filled with paranoia, started to show sparks of curiosity. The outside world, a place he had shunned for years, began to beckon him once again. The day Bob stepped out of his mountainous prison marked the beginning of his journey back to life. Brody and Mike stood by his side as he took his first breath of fresh air, felt the sun on his weathered face, and beheld the vast expanse of the world he had forgotten. With their help, Bob began to reintegrate into society. It was a slow process, filled with moments of doubt and fear, but each step forward was a victory, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Bob was no longer a man consumed by gold, but a man rediscovering the golden moments of life. In helping Bob reclaim his life, they discovered the real treasure wasn't the gold in the cave, but the human connection they had forged deep within the mountain. They found that the true essence of adventure wasn't just in conquering peaks or discovering hidden caves, but in touching lives and making